So we are back on the mill today. Got a not so interesting wood to do, but a very useful wood. So the other day when I came here, there was a bunch of pretty large pine trees just there, and now they're mostly there. But we've got these two logs set aside for here. One this big thing, and a smaller one over the back there. Now it's a real shame that that one on top there wasn't left out, because that is some excellent wood. It's pretty clear, like there's a knot there, there's a little knot there, but otherwise it's basically all clear wood. So I'm going to see if I can pull that down with a four-wheel drive at a later day. But this is one of the things I talk about when it comes to wood and waste. Now, I haven't estimated yet how many tons of wood's here, but this is all going to be burnt. As you can see, the pile stretches around the corner. Now, most of this wood, in fact pretty much all of it's probably really not worth milling, except for that piece on top there. It's really not worth the effort. But if we had a biomass power plant, this wood would be worth putting through it for fuel to produce heat and produce electricity to power a greenhouse. And unfortunately, because there isn't a market for this wood, and because it's hard, then it just gets burnt. This is, just eyeballing it, this is probably enough timber once it was chipped and dried to heat a 1 hectare greenhouse for 2 months maybe. And it's all like me who have tried to get biomass power plants up and running. We haven't been able to, because we haven't been able to guarantee that we would have fuel stock. We haven't been able to guarantee the funding because of, it's new, it's innovative, and it's just outside the zone of lenders. Even though it's a standard practice in Europe, and even though that this material is available all the time, it's just not available predictably. So you've got to manage it. You've got to budget for it. You get a bit of a stockpile up, and you put it aside. But those sort of vagaries, even though it's a pretty low risk bet, just don't appeal to the market, to the financing market here in Australia. So I'm going to get some bee boxes, or wood for bee boxes, out of all this, and get cracking. Now, in response to one of the posts I made about the other videos, the other milling videos, they were talking about how bandsaw mills aren't really any good in Australia because of the Australian hardwoods are just too hard for bandsaw mills. Well, that's not really true, and I'll go into that in another video. But what I wanted to point out today is that one of the reasons why the Lucas mill is so popular is because it can handle logs like this. Now this is pine. It's a softwood. Bandsaw mill could deal with pine without any worries at all. But no portable bandsaw mill that I know of could handle this log, because it's just too big. And one of the things that's a feature of backyard milling or portable milling in Australia is we regularly get monsters like this, which bandsaw mills just can't handle. But for a Lucas mill, this is a slightly above average log. Like the Lucas mill is going to handle this without any trouble at all. Well, as soon as I cut that off. with these farm logs, they're often a lot of trouble for what you get. But now this one isn't perfect, but there is some fabulous wood in it. So you got this massive, the massive knots in it that you tend to get in farm trees because they're not pruned. But look at how tight the growth rings are. This has been a really slow growing tree. And so that's some excellent wood. I wouldn't be surprised if it's heavier than normal pine, and it's certainly going to be stronger. And even though we got the knots, there's a big knot there, but that is a good, there's a good 2 meters there of, well, no, 2 meters, yeah, good 2 meters of clear wood. So, yeah, we're going to get some lovely stuff out of this. Well, that's the day. It's not going to get any more on the trailer without overloading it, but that is fabulous. We are past halfway, and we won't get that bit down the bottom, so we're actually probably 2/3 of the way through, because the log's on the ground. We won't get that very bottom bit. But I'm not sure if the camera will pick it up, but if you look at those growth rings, it's just, they're so tight. Like, that is fabulous wood. Alright, so yes, it's got knotty. We're going to have to cut the knots out and stuff and work around them, but there is some beautiful wood there. And some people might be saying it's just pine, but that is good wood. That is good, slow grown wood. So anyway, time for me to pack up and get out of here.